Hey everyone, welcome to Creating Your Heaven on Earth. I'm your host, Denise Anderson, and I'd love to welcome you to the show. Wearing my nice warm fuzzy sweater today. It's freaking freezing outside today. I'm not a big winter fan. I love the snow, not a fan of the cold. So I'm in my home today, nice and cozy with my warm sweater, ready to bring you another episode of Creating Your Heaven on Earth. So my topic today that I want to dive into is the fact or the idea that you are a creator, not a victim. Hence our ability to create heaven on earth. So I'm going to say that again. You are a creator, not a victim. I have a coffee cup. I was drinking a cup of coffee a while back, and my son was over at my place. And on the coffee cup, there was a quote. And it said, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And I believe it was George Bernard Shaw that said that. And my son is like, yeah, mom, like you seem to be on this journey all the time. And it's like you're trying to find yourself or find out who you are. He says, just create the life that you want. And that I know was a seed for me that was planted. It's like, oh, what if I became more like a creator in my life rather than somebody that's seeking and searching all the time? So I don't know if you can relate to that. I know I've got a lot of friends that are seekers, spiritual seekers, and it's like we're trying to find ourselves. And I'm just in this place where it's like, you know what? It's just damn time we started creating the life that we want, the personality we want, the environment that we desire to have, where we can express our highest potential and possibility of who we can be and what we can create. So I hope you're into that, because that's what this podcast is all about. So I have a sheet that I'm going to read from. So one thing that holds us back from putting ourselves out there, from really reaching our highest potential, is we play the role of victim. Now, like, I certainly have never done that. Just kidding. I was going through the sheet before the podcast here, and yeah, I see where I still in areas of my life where I like to play the victim, and I know that I do that to get myself off the hook. That playing the victim or seeing myself as a victim allows me to play small, so I don't have to put myself out there. And it allows me to go back into my comfort zone. So perhaps you as well will recognize some of the areas where you're still playing the victim in your life. So this is the difference between a victim and a victor. So my deepest desire and hope for you is that you would want to be the victor in your hero's journey, which is your life. So one, victors take responsibility when things go wrong. Victims look for somebody else to blame. So where in your life are you blaming someone else? I know that's a really easy one to fall into. Number two, victors look ahead with optimism and hope. Victims see the future as a dark and scary place. I do know I'm pretty good at this one. I'm very optimistic and very hopeful, but certainly nothing compared to my friend Sandy. She's so freaking positive. I call her Positive Polly. I love her, but I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes she fucking annoys me with her positivity, because she's so, the glass is never half empty. It's always half full. It's always, the sun is always shining in her life. She's just this, yeah, it's annoying sometimes, but it's also the thing that I love about her the most. She is optimistic. Things are going to work out. And you know what? In her life, things do work out. Again, not always the way that maybe she had hoped or had envisioned it, but it's always working out. So I wanted to share that story with you, just so you can recognize that in your own friends and in your own life. All right. Number 3, victors see talented people as potential teammates. Victims see them as potential threats. Now, I can definitely recognize where I have gone on both sides of that pendulum, and also where that was projected onto me, where my gift and talent threatened somebody else. And so they did whatever they could to kind of get me off the team or get them away. And to me, this is where like jealousy comes up, right? We can be jealous of other people's talents, right? So when we are not embodying the gifts that we have and the talents that we're just naturally born with and that we've spent our lifetime honing, and you're not stepping into that, this is where I find it's very easy to fall into a victim mindset. And those around you that are being creative and living their life on purpose, you can become very, very jealous of. And this is where like a lot of projections come in, and that whole victim energy starts creeping into relationships. Um, Victors are aware of their need to continue to grow and develop. Victims think that life would be better if only everyone else would develop and grow. Again, totally relatable. There's times I can take complete responsibility, recognize where I need to grow. And it's hard sometimes, I'm not going to lie. It's you just think if that other person would just grow and want to see a bigger picture, if they could open up their mind, that would make my life better. And I can certainly speak from experience. Even if that other person did grow and expand their view of the world, it doesn't change anything for you. You would still be stuck in your victim mindset, seeing the world the way that you see it. So that pattern is just going to continue for you, even if somebody else changes their own pattern. So, oh, good thing I didn't shut my phone off. Number 6, victors imagine their future, victims worry about it. So, where are you worrying about the future? Victors paddle their boat where they want to go. Victims go wherever the currents take them. So, this one really speaks to the title of today's podcast, where when you're rowing your boat, you actually have an idea of where you're going. And this is where I find a lot of people get lost. Life is coming at them, challenges are arising, but they don't even know where they're paddling their boat. There is no goal and there is no vision of their life. And that is what I'm so freaking passionate about helping people with, is finding that direction. What turns you on? What gets your mojo going? What gets you jacked up on Mountain Dew that you just can't even help but do that thing because you just feel so alive? And maybe you haven't found that thing yet. You haven't found that thing that completely turns you on and gets you excited about life. But I am telling you, when I am paired with somebody, when my energy meets with somebody who is ready to go towards that goal, a great example of this, it's about a year and a half ago, I was living in a retirement home. I know that's a whole podcast in and of itself. Maybe it's a series. I don't know. But I was living in a retirement home, and I met an 85-year-old woman, and she asked me what I did for a living. So I said, I'm a life coach. I have my own private practice. I've written a couple of books. And she's like, what? You've written a book? Oh my God, I've always wanted to write a book. And I said, yeah, you and everybody else. I mean, everybody, says they want to write a book. And she goes, no, like I really do. And I looked her in the eye and I said, let me know when you're absolutely serious and 100% ready. And I would love to go on that journey with you. And I would say it was about 4 months later. We met in the hallway. She looked me in the eye. She said, Denise, I'm ready. Let's do it. So at 86 years old, about 9 months later, she published her first book. I was so proud of her. And again, we were excited. She was passionate about this. She had some amazing stories to tell. Her name is Edna McCall, and her book is Lady Father. If you ever get a chance to read that book, oh my God, please. It's got a little bit of everything. It's heartwarming. Again, she's oh, what do you call it? A marriage commissioner. She's been a marriage commissioner for many years, and she tells Oliver a bunch of stories about what it's like to be a marriage commissioner. And so you get a little bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes of what it's like. But again, had she not had that courage to there, I could feel that there was a flame lit inside of her to do this thing. And that's when we connected and manifested this published book that she's so proud of. So is her family. And it's a wonderful read. So again, it's Lady Father by Edna McCall. Please get a copy. But had she played the victim, right? So she can't see out of the one eye. She could have used the excuse, I'm too old, I'm not healthy enough, I don't understand technology, how am I ever going to get published? You know, all those things that come up in our mind that stop us from doing the things that actually lead to a very fulfilling life. I mean, what is heaven on earth other than feeling fulfilled? Are you doing the things that fulfill you in life? And that doesn't mean we're not going to be scared to do them, right? So this whole state of heaven isn't about like we're just going to wave a magic wand and wake up one day and, oh, it just feels so heavenly being here. I'm so ultimately fulfilled. No, you got to do the work. You're going to have to do the work, but it doesn't have to be daunting. It doesn't have to be daunting. So, continuing with the victim mindset, victors understand that their life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Victims don't know what that means, but their life becomes one anyway. And now just a couple more. If I can bring up this other note. One more. Victors regularly do the hard thing. Victims follow the path of least resistance. So following the least amount of resistance leads to the least amount of joy, right? It keeps you comfortable, but it's also a low level of happiness and joy when you aren't following your bliss. So, what I really want you to think about is where in your life are you playing the victim? And yes, when we make this realization, you might need to eat a piece of humble pie, but I promise you, eating a little bit of humility is not going to kill you. In fact, it may be the medicine that you need to propel you forward. The other part of this is how do you show up as the victor in your life? Where are you facing the challenges? Where have you already done the hard things? Because I know if you're listening to this, you've already done many hard things. You've already faced many difficult challenges. And maybe right now you're going through one of those challenges. And what I want to leave you with is it's the exact challenge that you're going through right now that is going to lead to you having a bigger piece of heaven on earth. You're already on that road. Whatever is appearing in your life, it's like this is the way I work with my clients is we take whatever is already occurring in your life. It's already happening. It's already unfolding. So again, I don't know where you are on that journey, but I would absolutely love to be a part of that journey with you. If you feel a resignation here, if you feel a connection, and would love to have me a part of that journey with you. I was going to end with something. Oh, yes, I did want to say this. Feeling sorry for somebody because of what they're going through will keep people in a victim mindset. So it's what I call being an enabler. You are enabling somebody to go through life as a victim. And I can promise you, you are not doing them any favors. You're not doing yourself a favor because you're being an enabler. You are literally helping them to stay in that energy and that mental mindset of a victim when you feel sorry for someone. Having empathy, compassion, and understanding for what someone is going through while you hold a vision of their highest and greatest potential and possibility for their life is what I feel one of the greatest gifts you can give another human being. And I would absolutely love to help give you that gift, to help you cultivate that gift in your life. So if you feel connected, I would love for you to reach out, set up a free consultation with me. I want to thank you for joining me today on Creating Your Heaven on Earth. And if you would like to set up a consultation, please go to creatingyourheavenonearth.com. And remember to please like and share this podcast if you know of a friend or a family member that would enjoy this or get something out of it. I'd love to grow my platform, and I'd love for you to help me out as well. So thank you all for joining.